Good day, beautiful people of the planet Earth. It's nice for everybody to be here with us today. Again, we are on Genetically Modified Skeptic, where he is talking about the show, or I guess it's a channel called Gaia. And I've seen this on YouTube and different places. I'll actually let him explain what it is. I don't promote Gaia. I think that it's kind of ridiculous, but there was this one part in there where he is asking for a source, and I absolutely know that it's true, so I figured that I would source it for him. It has to do with astral projection and the abilities of the mind. And I understand why most people who are atheists are very skeptical of things that have to do with the mind, having psychic abilities, this and that. Personally, it interests me. And I'm not saying that I'm psychic or anything special. I'm just saying that I find it of interest. And I've done some research and studying into it. So, without saying any more, let me go ahead and have him explain what Gaia is. And then I will show you the part that I was speaking of, along with the source that I'm going to give for him.
Gaia. It's a subscription-based video streaming service, kind of like Netflix, but it delivers a very specific genre of content, that being films, documentaries, TV-style series on topics like New Age spirituality, conspiracy theories, alternative medicine, alternative cosmology, history, all that kind of stuff. I found this like I bet a lot of people do, and that was just through Facebook and YouTube ads, and I don't usually pay attention to ads, but these kind of caught my attention because of their unique content. So I decided to scroll their Facebook page, and it turns out they have a pretty good following, about 2.4 million views and even more follows. And they have some pretty intense videos on there, and I understand why they get views.
So now we will watch the part where he asks for the citation, and then I'll go ahead and give the citation needed. I'm just doing this kind of to start a conversation, kind of like in the last video. We're never going to get anywhere if everybody is just super polarized. Gaia is obviously polarized very far into the things that they put out there, which are a little far-fetched. Honestly, Genetically Modified Skeptic is polarized kind of on the opposite side of that, in my opinion. And you can kind of see it by the way he teases and makes fun, asks for a citation, and I'll show you how quickly you can find it.
Remote viewing refers to a technique used by psychic spies working for the CIA. They were able to see far-off locations as if they were there, and they could even move through time.
Whoa.
Ingo Swann was
Citation
one of the
needed.
first and most accurate viewers in this program. Could it be that Swann was able to project his consciousness by tuning into a standing geomagnetic wave of the Earth?
What does that even
Fascinating
mean?
connection between our brains and the shared magnetic field, not only of our planet, but potentially of the entire universe. If we learn to harness the power of these tiny antennas in our brain, who knows what kind of psychic superpowers we might unlock.
What kind of magnet do I need to erase my memory of that video?
So there was his reaction. That's quite a good way of keeping an open mind. So we're just going to do some really quick Google searching here. Remote viewing, there's another term for that. It's called astral projection. And if you go to just Google CIA astral projection, the first thing that you're going to come up with is a CIA.gov website. Here's a PDF. They have documents in here that were declassified on December 1st of 2011. And it talks about what the guy was talking about in that video, where basically a subject found such a facility at the coordinates given by subject, photos. So basically, some subject that they were experimenting on who was doing astral projection, and he described a facility in Russia that he had never been to before, and the CIA confirms this in their own reports. It's not really a secret to the conspiracy theory alien counterculture that the CIA had these projects going on. The thing that really interests me, besides the fact that they actually released this information to the public, but the thing that really interests me is the fact that they were throwing so much money at this. That obviously it was producing some type of results. Otherwise, they wouldn't have thrown so much money at it. So if they were doing this back in 1973, what do you think they're doing today? Like, if they were doing this project back in 1973, what do you think they're doing today? And to the best of my knowledge, it takes 50 years to get documents like this declassified. For the sake of national security, I actually am really excited to see what happens this summer, because they're going to have to declassify everything that's classified that happened on the Apollo program. And they're probably going to do the same thing where they go and white out certain things. They do that all of the time. They did that with JFK's assassination. That's just something that everybody can expect, but I'm really interested in what the government is going to do when they spend the releasing of the Apollo missions and what really happened when we landed on the moon. Because right now, they already admit that they lost all of the film. All of the film from the original landing on the moon. And Drew, if you don't believe me, I will send you a link. Like I promised. Actually, I will put up a link in the description of this video showing where NASA admits that they do not have the original film and telemetry data from the Apollo missions where they landed on the moon. Everybody, believe what you wish to believe. This is not an attack on atheism. This is just, people should think. They should think. And they should believe what they wish to believe. And they should believe it because they believe it. Not because somebody told you to. Not because someone's trying to convince you. Not because you go to a church and everybody's going to look down on you if you don't. Believe it because you believe it. Believe it because it's in your heart. So, anyways, thank you everybody for listening. I am Just Conspiracy, and I just wish to conspire with other good people of this planet to leave a better world for future generations than the world we all grew up in. Thank you. So, Drew, I decided to just go ahead and source it here on the video. You can see that if you just type into Google tapes lost Apollo moon landing, you're going to come up with articles, YouTube videos, NPR. I hope you don't believe that they are conspiracy network. CNN. If you go along with Trump, you might consider that fake news. I don't know what your personal beliefs are on it. But here is a nasa.gov website. So I'd say it's a pretty credible source. And we go in here, and it will actually talk about how they mislocated the magnetic tape that recorded the original Apollo 11 video in 1969, which coming up this summer will be 50 years. The original tapes may be at Goddard Space Flight Center. Maybe. Maybe they are, maybe they are not. NASA does not consider the tapes to be lost, even though they can't find them. And kind of like how you were looking at those other articles, let's just go back. This article was done on June 9th of 2018, so they still haven't found them. They're just gone. So, I'm not saying that there's a conspiracy theory here. I'm just saying that the tapes are lost of the most important event that happened in mankind's history. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind, but it wasn't important enough to keep the tapes. I'll still put a link to this NASA website on the description of the video.